Good morning, everyone. Morning of day 3, 6:30 in the morning. Just finished raining, and it's going to be raining all day. First things first, it's the last day. Tomorrow morning we fly out, so we need to find somewhere to do laundry. And I think I know just the place. Yes, that is the mythical, or almost mythical, 130 Pocari Sweat machine, but we're still looking for the 120. I don't know. It's day 3 and we still haven't found it, but that's a whole other deal that we're going to figure out after we figure out the laundry. But we're going to figure out the laundry first. Alright, that is where we will be doing laundry. Just have to figure out how to use the machines, but that's a whole other story on its own. We're going to figure that out when we get there. It's oddly quiet for this time. I mean, by now it's already 7:15, and yesterday was quiet, but not this quiet. So I don't know if maybe on Friday people start later or how that works, but the street is definitely oddly quiet.
For your safety, please stand behind the yellow line.
We are now back in Yoyogi Park. Today it is supposed to be raining, as I mentioned earlier. So it's important that you always save indoor activities for rainy days. In this case right now it's still about 7:45 in the morning. It's too early to do anything. That's something that you learn in Tokyo and even in Japan as a whole, is things open late. Even restaurants, they'll open at maybe 7 a.m. in the morning, some at 6. But just in general, the city wakes up later. And I decided to go for a walk this morning because on day 1 I did that. It just really set up the rest of the day to be good. Every morning, and this is why the entire city and country is clean. You have people doing this stuff every single morning, everywhere, in the parks and on the streets, just keeping it clean. Feels like I'm walking in a movie set. It reminds me of yesterday how I said it feels like I'm in a simulation. That's exactly what it looks like right now. Maybe the camera's not capturing it, but with the fog and the trees, this is an exact movie setting that we have right here. And I just finished taking rocks out of my shoe, and now that there's no benches around, I just got another big rock in my shoe. So now once more we're on a quest to find a bench. My left shoulder is starting to feel a pain, and we're only day 3 of this 5-week trip. Could be cause for concern, as I did separate it in 2017, and I got the good old North American prescription of just take painkillers. Good old Sackler family subsidy of take painkillers. All your problems are just gonna go away. Just take the painkillers. So yeah, I'm feeling it a little bit, but we press on. That's what we do. New lore unlocked. That tree over there is officially a majestic tree. Look at it. Look at how it's just standing alone apart from the rest. With all that moss on it and all that, that's officially a majestic tree. That's it. Now we're even going to start rating trees. So that's what we're going to do. New lore unlocked. So let's keep that in mind now as we continue on this pursuit of the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. We've now encountered 2 problems. One being that I have rocks in my shoes and that there's not a bench in sight. And 2 being that I just had this insane breakfast that I will post up the photo here. And once again, I went to Matsunoya, and I know you're in Japan, all these foodies, they can't stand what I do, but I've only eaten Matsunoya and Konbini food. It's just what it is. I'm just not a foodie. I don't really care. I go for value. Nonetheless, I had one of their breakfasts and it was way too big, and right now I need to explode in the toilet, so we're gonna figure out a solution to that shortly. Alright guys, I finally found a bench. The problem is, so now we solved one problem, but we have another problem, is that the more I walk, the faster my metabolism operates, and there's no bathroom in sight, and I'm not even quite certain where I am, but there's some barbed wire building behind me. I think I have an idea of where I could find public toilets, but it's about 1.5 kilometers away, so we're gonna walk towards there and hope we don't annihilate our pants on the way there. Never happened to me in my entire life, but you know, there's almost a first for everything, or should I say there's a first for almost everything. I don't know. Cut this clip. Yeah, I just finished destroying that place. But anyway, we're gonna continue with this walk. And the trick is about using these public bathrooms too, is people are always cleaning them. I saw those cleaning staff going in, waited for them to go out. I just walked in nice and easy. And at the same time, I created jobs, so now they're gonna have to go back. And we will continue on with this walk. And if we look down there, we'll see if we could see it. Down there, those are the bathrooms. Those colored glass ones, those are the bathrooms down there, where once more, like we saw on day one, you turn on the light and the glass becomes frosted. Or sorry, you lock the door and the glass becomes frosted. Then you unlock the door and the frosted glass goes away, but it seems like they're all closed, that nobody could use them. Probably because people were playing with them. Let's go and figure out to see if we could use them or not. This is what they look like up close. And I believe they are closed, they're not working. Let's see what the sign says. Glass will become opaque when the door is locked. Be sure to lock the door. I see. So in this case, I guess they're just all being used or they're once again closed. Anyway, fun little thing to look at. Nobody else really invests in that around here. Let's go find a bench. I have rocks in my shoe. Once more. And there are some benches right there. We're now walking through the central field here, as they call it, and there's nobody else doing it, which makes me wonder, are we allowed to walk here or should I be staying on the roads? But nonetheless, we're already committed, and there's a man over there playing some sort of flute or other instrument that I don't really know of, but he's just under that tree playing that instrument. I swear to you, this is like a real life anime. You can't make this up. I don't even want to approach because I just want to leave him in his tranquil solo state, just doing what he's doing. Good for him. Now the dude is just going to hop on his bike, and it looks like he has a work lunchbox with him. So imagine you wake up in the morning, you go to the park, perched under some trees, you play some music on a Friday morning, then you pack up and go to work. And this is why these people live until 115. You know, it's not the vitamins in the water or the lack thereof or the processed food or whatever. It's just that this is the stuff that they do. Maybe this is the secret. This is what they're doing, and that's what we're not doing. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point. But something has to change. Are these majestic benches. Solo here. Look where we are. Just, they're all alone. There's nothing around there. Nothing around. Just these benches surrounded by these plants that I cannot name. What's important is remember the proximity of the plants to the bench. In this case, assuming these benches were cleaner, these may be majestic benches. Look at this. They're all wet now, so I can't sit on it. Might sit on them still for principle. But look at this. You're just sitting here. Let's imagine you were sitting down. You would be at around this level. And that's your view. Just hanging out. Hanging out. You see, once more, another example of why these people live. These people in Japan, why they live until, 100 plus. It's just what it is. I mean, you get benches like this. You get views like this. Already now, I just feel healthier. And it's still like 8:30. 8:45. Already I feel healthier. I know my day is going to go good, regardless of the weather, regardless of what happens, regardless of whether or not I find the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. Look, I have rocks once more in my left shoe. My forehead is burnt to the crisp, but I know it's going to be a good day after this morning walk. Now we're going to head back into the city, which is only a rock throw away. Is that the expression? A stone throw? Rock throw? A throwing stone? I don't know. Just cut the clip. We're going somewhere else. Cut the clip. Let's get out of here. I feel like this place was constructed for thousands of people to be walking here. and yet it just seems oddly deserted. Very strange when you're in a place that should be packed, or it seems like it should be packed, and then it's completely deserted. Very strange. Well, what do we have here behind these trees? Let's go take a look. This thing's supposed to transform at some point. Let's see if there's something that says the time. So in 1 hour we'll come back. How strange is it that you're walking down this path and on one side there's a life-size Gundam soldier, or pardon my ignorance, I don't know if they're soldiers or what they are. And then in the distance there is some sort of gold point over there that we don't really know what that is, but I guess we could go figure it out. And that reminds me of when you're playing a shooting game, a first-person shooter, and that's the spawn point, and they would put that sort of piece, and that's where the people spawn. That's what that looks like over there in the distance. I feel like there should be more people walking through this area, considering the abundance of trees. But I guess maybe this isn't one of the known hotspots. Nevertheless, we'll walk through it to bring it justice. And there's vending machines here. Let's see if there's the mythical 120. Oh, there is not Pocari Sweat in these machines. There is not. Therefore, we just press on. We don't even give it a second thought. I just thought about it, and later today, I'm going to show you arguably the most mythical benches to exist. Or sorry, majestic. Or you know what, they're really not majestic, and you'll know why when I show you. But on my first day, over 5 years ago in Asia, on my first day, when I was looking for somewhere to sit, and it was getting critical because unless you're at a park or an open space, there's nowhere to sit in Tokyo. It's like finding a trash can. You just can't find them unless you're in some sort of open space or park. But nevertheless, I finally found somewhere to sit, and it was the most unique set of benches I've ever seen in my life. If you know me, I've spoken about this multiple times. I'm going to show you guys later in the video. We're going to head towards there. In the meantime, let's just enjoy where we are right now. This really feels like an anime. I mean, this doesn't even look real at all. That's why I say it's like you're in a simulation. And I was talking about this with my cousin months ago when he was in Italy, and we had this discussion how sometimes you're just standing somewhere, you're just looking at something, and it just doesn't seem real. It truly feels like you're in a simulation. It's like when you exit your room and close that door, whatever was behind that door no longer exists. I know there's a word for that, but I don't really know the terminology of any of this. I feel like I should have been well informed before going on about this bit, but nonetheless, we're already halfway through it, and now I'm just trying to find a way how to get out of this bit. Therefore, we will once more turn towards the pathway, and I will stop talking. We'll cut all of that. Here we have the summoning stone of whatever this is supposed to be. It's definitely some sort of like alien communication device. There's a placard over there that says what it is, but let's stay misinformed and just come up with our own assumptions and present them as facts. That's the new thing anyway in life, is that it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, it's who yells loudest. Therefore, if I can make it more publicized that this thing is an alien communication device in comparison to the amount of people who truly know what it is, then what I say will become fact, regardless of whether it is empirically true or not. That's what facts are nowadays. It's just, it doesn't matter if it's the real deal or not. It's, if you yell it louder, you're right. That's a fact. I don't even know why I just came up with this. This was completely unscripted. Let's get out of here. What are we doing here? Let's get out of here. Alright, I just read the history on it, and it's incredibly uninteresting. Therefore, I'm not even going to tell you what this alien teleportation pole is, truly. Instead, we'll just stick with what I said, because that history was incredibly underwhelming. I'm even skipping over my words now because, wow, that was... Anyway, we're going to move ahead. This is the Fuji television building, and I'm wondering, are we allowed to go up? Or are we allowed to at least go up to that plaza? But once more, there is no one in sight, and what looks to be a structure that should be able to accommodate hundreds of people. Look at this wide staircase in the middle of a Friday morning, just completely abandoned with an escalator that's running, only one person on it. Let's read the instructions. And the instructions are all in a different language. Let's see. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we will go up and use white person ignorance once we get there. White person ignorance, it has saved me quite a bit on this trip. Also accidentally bumped into someone on the train. I just started saying sumimasen, which I think means sorry or excuse me or something. I just started saying it and then I bowed, and that was it.
The end of the escalator is approaching. Please watch your step.
Oh, okay. It says please watch your step, and I still almost fell. Let's just keep going up and we'll see where this brings us. As an update to the situation, I have now used the escalators, and it looks like I have then enticed others behind me to use the escalator, which means I wasn't the only one wondering if we could in fact come up here or not. Worst case scenario, we're all in trouble. But I think I run faster than them, so we'll be okay. Oh look, there are the people behind us that are just following me. New thing, mythical vending machines. Or majestic vending machines. Sorry, I keep getting these two words mixed. I don't know, I'm just throwing out any sort of adjectives. I'm on these escalators, and on the side, they will put vending machines anywhere. In this case, they just threw them right here, where we are. Let's take a look at where we are here and look at the ceiling. Look at that, the Fuji television building, and that's, I guess, a sphere or something? We'll see what we're doing once we get up here. We'll see what's happening. It's 800 yen to go to the top of the observatory deck, and there's like a 40-minute wait, even though it only looked like there was 20 people in line. That's definitely not going to happen. Therefore, we're just going to go back to the bottom and look at other things. But that's 100% not going to happen. I'm just going to go on Google and figure it out. That's what I do sometimes. I just go on Google and I'll look at something and I say, is it still worth me going or not? It's like we vet it in advance. Look at this mega staircase. This is the kind of staircases that we need near the Bell Center. Wait, can we pass by here? Nope, staff entry only. Okay, so I guess we are using the staircase. But anyway, this is the kind of staircases that we need. We need to stop with those small, narrow staircases everywhere. For big venues like this, I mean, here they have it built, and there's nobody passing by here. That's where we were. We were up on that plaza, which is 7 stories high. Right now, I believe we are on the 3rd floor here, or 4th maybe. Also, this is in Odaiba, which is in Tokyo Bay. It's just some square islands that are off, and they're all connected. In the distance here, I'll try to get a better shot as we get closer. That, I believe, is the Rainbow Bridge. Once more, as I think I mentioned in another video, it's the famous bridge where Han says that cheesy line about if you're going too fast, cops won't chase you in Tokyo Drift. He says it to that one white guy that only appears in that film, and I think he appears in the 10th one for 10.5 seconds, and I don't think he's ever done any other movie in his entire career. But nonetheless, that's the bridge. Well. What's she doing here? That's not something I was expecting. Look at that. Trash cans in public. Now that is mythical. You will almost never find them unless this is some designated tourist spot or something. You will almost never find them. By the way, look at what the smoking sections look like. It's those little cubes surrounded by those bushes. Even the smoking sections are properly pampered. Really lost track of time. We are now heading back to the Gundam statue for 11 o'clock to see the transformation. Right now we are walking towards the alien teleportation pole, and from there we just turn east, which would be left. And just behind this shopping center here, we should find the life-size Gundam.
Unicorn Gundam! できます!
Wow, that was underwhelming. That is 3.5 minutes of my time that I'll never get back. That was arguably one of the most underwhelming things I've ever seen in my entire life. People running around trying to get in the photo, and then we're all just confused watching, saying, you know, telling ourselves, is this it? Is this it? And that's all it was. There's only one thing that could quell this incredible, unparalleled disappointment that I'm feeling right now, and it's the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. That's probably the only thing right now that could fix this. That was... wow. If I could swear in this video, I probably would be swearing copiously. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're gonna keep this in. Keep it in. No, you know what? Cut this. Cut. Keep it in, actually. Keep in this part and the part that comes next. It's 15 minutes. I'm still dwelling on this. I can't believe it. My disappointment is immeasurable. It cannot be expressed in words alone. This would be similar to going to a restaurant and ordering a burger and then finding out only after it's arrived at your table and biting into it that it's vegan. This is like going to an Asian restaurant and then the waitress serves you in fluent English. And then when you go to the cash, it's not their 8-year-old child. You know, that's how disappointed I am right now. It's... wow. Anyways, let's try and look at this landscape, which, I mean, I've seen better in the area. But nonetheless, that's where we are right now. I mean, there's very, very few things that could quell this dissatisfaction apart from the mythical 120 yen Pocari Sweat. We're gonna have to figure something out, but honestly, this day looks like it can't be salvaged at this point. That's time I'm never gonna get back. That was crazy. You guys saw it. I'll put the whole clip of it. What the hell is that? What was that? I can't believe I waited for that. Wow. Big waste of my time. Let's get out of here. Where are we? Let's get out of here. A lot of people ask me to say, how does smoking work here, since you can't smoke in public like you do elsewhere? But as we saw earlier, there's these designated smoking areas, which are little isolated sectors in here. Now, I don't consume nicotine or smoke. For all of you smokers, imagine if you were to just rip a cigarette right in here. I feel like that would be a unique experience surrounded like that on the beachfront like this. Oh, here, this looks to be some beach that clearly is not that popular. Maybe it's just too cold, the water. Are we allowed to walk on this pier? Maybe I'm gonna go walk on this pier. Let's go walk on this pier. I feel like this is another set. This could be another movie set here, just walking down like this. The bridge in the background. I mean, this I feel is just another example of, are we in a simulation? Are we not? Here we are. This is the end of this pier. Once more, this begs the question, am I even allowed to be here, considering I feel like there would be people here taking photos or doing something, but there is not. Did I ever tell you guys about this other top-notch beverage? This is the vitamin one. So there's the Suntory one, which is this one. But there's also another brand. When I find it, I'm gonna buy it when I see it. But you don't find these everywhere. So you have to keep looking at the different vending machines. But when you find it, it's a quality beverage. I don't ever consume any liquid sugar back when I'm home. But when I'm traveling, I'm always drinking water or these vitamin beverages, which are likely filled with sugar. Not good for the teeth. But before coming here, I did go to the dentist, and I anticipate going to the dentist on my return. Cut that. No, nobody cares about this. Just cut that whole segment. I don't know what I'm running off on, man. This autism really needs to be fixed or moderated or something. I don't know. What are we doing? Let's get out of here. What are we doing? Let's move. Let's go. What are we doing? Standing still is for those of the spherical persuasion. Or is that sitting down? Cut all this. Cut everything. Ladies and gentlemen of culture, I believe we might have a candidate here. Are these benches facing the water? I knew it. I knew up along this tier over here that we would have benches facing the water. You know what? Not this one. This one is majestic because look at how the tree overhangs. There's no sign in the way. And you look straight ahead. Or is this one? You know what? Maybe this one. If it was a little bit cleaner, this would be a top tier majestic bench. This is an 8.5. Let's sit down. Yeah, right away I feel it. This is an 8.5 bench. You know, you just sit here, you're just hanging with the boys, doing some degenerate activity. Imagine sitting here on this bench right now, gambling. Imagine gambling on Malaysian table tennis right now. Just sitting here on this bench. Imagine just ripping it here with the boys. We are now in Shimbashi station, which is the salaryman area capital. From what I've seen, as we could see a bunch of salarymen in the works in the back. And look how there's three tiers here of walk paths. So there's the bottom floor. We're probably like 6 stories up. There's the bottom. Then there's that second tier where that guy's taking a photo. Then there's one bridge. Then there's the bridge that we're on. There is also the famous benches, which I've dubbed the Benchipede, which somebody even made sure to line them up so that they're all eating each other's ass. As you can see, it's a very strange thing. We're gonna get closer and we're gonna go take a look at that. But that is very weird. It's the human Benchipede. And once again, there is salarymen everywhere here and in our surrounding area. This is the place to be. And at around lunchtime right now is when you'll see them all either finishing early or just going out to eat. So we'll see if we could spot the many hardworking individuals. This is the famous clock that was designed by Hayao Miyazaki, the creator and main director of Studio Ghibli. And this is similar to the moving house in Howl's Moving Castle. And every hour or so it does some sort of mechanism thing, things start moving. This one I've seen before in person. It is in fact cool. I'll post up a video. I have a video of it at nighttime from years back. I'll post it up if I can find it and you'll be able to see it here. But this is also right next to Shimbashi station that you could see this. And while taking the train, that train over there, you could also see it. And there it is, boys. These are the famous benches that I told you are very, very strange. And my first night in Asia, these were the benches that I could find because at the time, those benches in the back did not exist. But these are the benches. Very, very strange that this is a thing. Even years later, it's over 5 years they're here. It's some weird human Benchipede thing. I don't know what's going on. I'm even too intimidated to sit on them right now. Just all around very strange. Let's get out of here. The sheer number of salarymen and salarywomen around here is crazy. I'm trying to just get something, even in a convenience store, but the queues are minutes long in these small little shops. Just here as a tourist, these people are actually working, so I'd rather, they get their stuff done. I know how it is to not have a long lunch break and not have it wasted, or I know how it is, to have it wasted by, just other random factors that don't really matter to my job. Yeah, it's all over. It's all over. It's just all over. You saw it, I saw it. I'll try to burn that memory out of my mind. It's all over. It's 15 minutes I've been walking, and the entire time I was following the exit sign, and I was still underground for 15 minutes, but we finally made it out. And this is also the usual locale where I find many salarymen at around 6-7 p.m. and they all crawl out of the office buildings and they all go into these bars and consume a large quantity of alcohol. It's really in this particular area that I see it. And once more, we are just outside Shimbashi station. We're going to take a walk here. We're going to see if we find anything interesting. Maybe grab something to eat, but my stomach's feeling weird right now. I think I had too much of a large breakfast. I'll see. Maybe we need to have a large lunch to make up for that large breakfast. Maybe that's going to quell the pain. Makes no sense, but that's why it works. We're in a toy store right now. Are these rare? I don't know. It's about 35 Canadian. I don't know. Should I buy like 3,500 of them and just sell them for profit? I don't know. Are those rare? Someone look that up. 76917. I'm trying to solve this cube right now. It's like a no middle cube. Let's see if we could solve this. Alright, we solved it. The only thing is that it's much harder to spin, but overall it's the exact same mechanism as a regular cube. I don't know where the regular cube is, someone must have stole it, but I would find that very strange that they would have put the regular cube and they put all the fancy ones. Anyway, $29 is crazy. This is a crazy price. I get mine on Amazon for maybe $15. I don't even know what's going on, man. Let's get out of that toy store. Things are too weird. By the way, look at what the Apple store looks like. That's the Apple store. I think it's only like the first 4 floors, maybe. This is Ginza, by the way. This is Ginza corridor. It's all fancy things. There's like Mont Blanc over there. There's, I think, Louis Vuitton that I could see in the distance. It's all things I can't afford, so it doesn't matter. None of those things matter. I could just buy them at home. We are now entering Hibiya Park, and it looks like there's some sort of event happening with all these tents, but or else this is just one big flat slab of asphalt surrounded by these rock benches, and then there's forestry around it. We'll see if we could go grab a seat. I have a few snacks in my bag, and we'll move from there. It looks like this is the Belgian beer weekend. And there's a bunch of stalls here, and I would assume they're selling beverages of all sorts. I won't be here this weekend, therefore I won't be seeing this. This is what it is. Usually this is just a plain open field, and there's usually nobody in this park. I've never seen people in this park. Not on the weekend, not during the weekday, not in the morning, not in the evening. Yet there is quite a large amount of people in this park right now. All these beer and snack shops. The salarymen would go crazy for all this beer. And there's even a stage over there. I assume it would be to perform something, maybe some sort of musical performance, maybe, or World Beer Awards. Is that what it is? The World Beer Awards. Maybe they're presenting awards. World's Best Blonde Ale. I don't know any of this. I haven't consumed any alcohol since I've been here. Currently have the Lunch of Champions, which is some chips, which is this croissant with the chocolate bar on the inside. Trust me, this is very much worth it. This is one of the best snacks. And we have the Combini chicken, I personally don't even like it. Every time I've had it, I didn't like it, but everybody keeps hyping it up. It's just fried chicken balls. They're not that good, but you know what I said? Maybe I just keep getting bad ones. Let me taste this again. That's what they look like inside. These ones are not that bad. I'm not gonna show myself right now with food in my mouth. That's nasty. But anyways. Here you go, I showed myself with food in my mouth. Maybe I was too harsh in the past. The Lawson crispy chicken, this one is quite good. It may have been too harsh in the past. The last time I've had these, they were full of nerves. Now these ones seem to be full breast inside. And you know me, I'm more of a breast person. So we'll just keep eating these chicken balls in our full nutrition lunch that we have. I don't eat any junk food at home. However, when I'm overseas, I just eat whatever I feel like eating. We just grab it off the shelf and that's what we do. A very quiet day here in Hibiya Park, despite the number of people. I don't think you're allowed to kick soccer balls or frisbees or anything like that, which is why maybe these parks are as quiet as they seem. We're also in the middle of the concrete jungle. If you look up where this park is on a map, we are surrounded with construction and concrete, cement, bricks, glass. That's where we are. Look at all those benches up there. Those are just ordinary benches. A dime a dozen, one might say. This truly is the easiest place to travel. I mean, once again, you just grab the public washroom right here if you gotta pee. It's cleaner than 99% of toilets that I've been in. Let's go check out these benches right here. It seems like there's a large collection of benches. I just have to see what it is. Oh, it's like a stage for, I guess, shows or whatever. But it looks like a permanent installment. It's now closed. Let's see if there's a calendar. Nope, says some stuff. Tokyo Parks Play. One of you guys can look it up. I'm not going to look that up. Here I feel is like where you could basically do outdoor speeches where you coerce a large group of people to go on to political ventures that are perhaps not in the interest of the overall well-being of humans, but this is where you start. It's like an Avatar season 1 of Korra. I think the second one, Korra, where they're giving all those speeches, the whole anti-bending speeches. I feel it's like at things like this where they start giving those anti-bending speeches, and next thing you know, it just spirals out of control and it becomes a whole national movement. I was going to bring up another example from World War II, but I feel like that would get me barred on whatever platform I decide to post these videos on, so we're not going to bring that up. But I feel like it started with speeches in places like this. Hibiya Park, as it says there. Another section here and many different flowers. Lots of benches here, but once again, these aren't top tier benches because there's too many of them. It has to be very specific bench. Unless I find a very, very good bench in particular, these all look standard benches. The concrete jungle in the back with the mature trees, and the fact that you're just playing tennis in the middle of all this, smack in the middle of the city, is just crazy to me. There's even benches in the tennis courts. This is crazy. Look at this. Is this a walk path? We could walk here. We could walk. Let's just take a few steps just to see what this looks like. Look at this. Crazy. See, this is what I mean. You guys, you don't understand when I say these things. It's like a simulation sometimes. Like, I could hear the traffic of cars, yet this is what I have around me. Now all we're missing is a bench. Okay, there are benches there, but they're too numerous and they're not facing the right way. They would have to be facing into the horizon. It's like when you would just gaze and think in the future or about the past, and you would contemplate, because remember, the only things that you could keep from the past are the consequences of your actions and your memories. One of them could fade, the other one could be bad, but that's what it is, right? That's what you take with you from the past. I don't even know what I was getting at with any of that. That's what we're doing. Is that a tree in the middle? There's a tree providing shade in the middle. You know, whoever the urban planners are of Tokyo, these are probably the best urban planners. Okay, maybe that's a stretch. There's a lot of really good urban planning. I'm just used to some of the worst urban planning in the world, which comes out of Montreal. You know, now obviously if I'm comparing like Montreal urban planning to, you know, the rest of the world, you know, it's like we're comparing the Kolkata street food to the Wagyu beef restaurants here. You know, we're comparing the absolute worst of the worst to some of the top tier ones that are around. But yeah, I don't even know where I was getting with that. Look at this path. Let's walk up this path. There's nobody stopping me to walk up this path right now. So we'll try it. Look at this. Am I even allowed to be here? I don't even think I'm allowed to be here, but there is Shiota Park, which is that way. That's east. There is Ginza. There is Minato, I believe. I'm just naming off random shit. I could be completely wrong. Looks like I was too late. It says the bell rings at noon and only at noon. Oh well, it is what it is. In this particular area, and also in Akaska, you have to always keep your eye out on traffic because you never know when a very special car may drive by. I've seen it before. This is the spot not far from here where I also saw Ferrari F40, and I saw a few Murciélagos. I saw many Aventadors all drive by this particular area, and it's nearby streets. Therefore, for that reason, you always got to keep your eyes sharp and looking. Never know when you're going to see a car worthy of seeing. And also, you got to listen too. But car guys know this. I don't even know why I'm saying it. Car guys know this. You could hear it from blocks away, from a mile away. You could hear some of these. What is this building? Old Ministry of Justice building, designed by German architects. I could tell. Yeah, that's definitely European influence, but look at that construction. Very cool. Cool to see that in central Tokyo. Different sort of architecture. I don't know what the history is of this place. We'll make our own history, but imagine you had an invading army here and you have this large moat, and then you have a wall like that that could potentially be climbed with the way it's designed, and you and your team are perched up at the top over there, raining down arrows into the water, killing the fish, killing the invaders. Just, oh, whoops, I can't use the word kill. Oh well, there goes any sort of monetization. Imagine that was the story of the war here. If there was a war here, but we'll pretend there was. Alright, the story I told you guys that's super low quality, similar to ChatGPT, is actually much less cooler than what this originally was. This is one of the main gates, it says, that was built 400 or so years ago, and it was one of the main entrances into Edo, Tokyo. I don't know if it was just called Edo or if it was called Tokyo or what the deal was, but this was one of the main gates, and apparently it was heavily damaged in the 20s from an earthquake and rebuilt, which you could definitely tell it was rebuilt at some point, or it's just meticulously maintained. But yeah, it turns out that the history was, in fact, much cooler than the generic story that I gave. Once more, big open space in the middle of the concrete jungle. And here you could see the antithesis. I'll keep using that word, even though I may potentially be using it wrong. You could see it over here with the concrete jungle in the back and the park here. Very cool. Is the grass real? That's the question. Let's not touch it and find out, and we'll just keep it a mystery. But it does look real. It doesn't look like it's turf. It all seems a little bit too well manicured and uniform. However, the color isn't too great. We've been walking for a while, decided to take a little bit of a pause. It's about 2 p.m. now, maybe 2:30. We've been walking quite a bit, and that's another thing too, is depending on the temperature and all, even though if you think you're fine, it's better to take the breaks. Even though you're walking 15 to 25 kilometers a day, you always take those breaks, even though you feel fine, because the knees and the feet, you'll feel it the next morning, and then it could ruin your entire next day. So you always have to keep that in mind. You have to pace, even for your shoulders, anything. Whatever you're using, if you're climbing, whatever, make sure you have good shoes, all that. You always got to make sure, because the next day is when you'll feel it, and whatever plans you had that day could be scrapped if you didn't take the proper rest periods, drink enough water, etc., etc. I mean, most of this is common sense anyway, but a lot of people, they think they could do, 35, 40, 50 kilometers a day of walking when they've never even ran a mile in their entire life. So as somebody like myself who could run a mile in about 5 minutes, 45 seconds, I still need to take the proper precautions to make sure that we don't spoil the entire trip at the start of the trip. This is about 100 meters away from Shibuya Crossing, and there's this building with a park that goes all over. And it seems that most activities are prohibited, but there is a lot of people here, and of course there has to be a Starbucks in the middle of it. Capitalism prevails, or should I say American capitalism prevails once more. And there's this strange robot that's doing something. Not really sure what, but needless to say, there's not much grass here, so it's probably not doing much for the grass. This is a rooftop skate park, by the way. So in this same park, there's a rooftop skate park. And what's interesting is that there's people of all ages here. There's tourists, there's locals, there's people with little kids, and there's even a lot of after-school students. And it's just interesting to see the mix, because it's also a very well-invested park when every single bench is taken. So that's how you know people are using it to the max. It's around 4:30 now, 4:30, 4:45, and I was thinking about it, and I think what I'm going to have is some pizza. And there's a place that's not too far from where I'm at right now. We're about 1 kilometer out, so we're gonna walk there and we'll have some pizza. And it has now started to rain. However, as I said, we're about 1 kilometer out from where this pizza is, and it seems like there's construction everywhere, so I'm being zigzagged all around. And we're going to slowly make our way there, but it's a little bit different. Usually I know the path off the top of my head. Now it's a little bit different, so we'll see how to do this. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna go over here and cross over. Looks like that's the plan. As seen from the photo, that is the pizza that we ate at Slice. Honestly, it's okay. I mean, it's probably the most Americanized pizza that I can find around here. Simple American slices. It's got a few American touches. Well, the person who works there is from England, so he spoke English. But in regards to the American touches, in the bathroom, there's a sign that says employees must wash their hands before returning to work. You only see that in the United States. You don't see that anywhere else. The Wi-Fi password is alphabet, and there's a few other American touches which I don't remember right now. But now we're gonna head back to where I'm staying, because we need to do laundry and prep our bag for tomorrow's flight. So we'll try to do that ASAP in case if there's a lineup at the laundromat and I have to either find another one or queue up. We'll see what we're gonna get on this Friday evening. All right, boys, the part of traveling that nobody shows you is the laundry. So that's what we're doing now. We're doing the laundry and we're prepping it now so we could put it in our bag now, prep our bag now, so tomorrow morning we'll only have to brush our teeth, comb our hair, and then we head straight to the airport. Just to keep it simple. It's crazy how there's so many people on the move everywhere here. I mean, I'm just standing even just outside the laundry place, which is in an alley of an alley of an alley. And there's just people walking everywhere. Oh, what's this? Pocari Sweat. 100 Pocari Sweat, but it's the half. Doesn't matter. By the way, I tried to just finish purchasing the 130 Pocari Sweat that we found a few videos back. Unfortunately, it's sold out, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I thought that was the closest, but it doesn't count. Anyways, guys, we're going to wrap up this video because after the laundry, I'm going to have to go back, pack the bag, check in for the airplane. Once again, guys, thanks for watching another video. I'm probably going to cut it here, and there should be more to come, and we'll see what we could do. We'll see if I could show you guys just some new things, or, you know, just show you things in my own perspective.